Hello, Life Coach Lillian here. Today I want to focus my little talk on the characters of a winning student, rather characteristics of a winning student, okay? This is a field I've drowned in, I've swum in, I've lived, walked, eaten, dreamt it. It is an area I wax lyrical about because I've seen lots and lots of patterns through the kids I've dealt with. And so I want to authoritatively address the topic, characteristics of winning students. If you see winning students anywhere in the world, it's never by chance, it's never by accident. They have certain distinct characteristics that I have gleaned and would love to share with others. So as much as possible, if you can get sharing this with your children, let them get to understand that if they really want to win, then these are the very important characteristics that they need to possess. Okay. Number one, a winning student has a growth mindset. I'm not going to school because I'm all smart. I'm going to school because I want to learn. I want to figure out something. And so what is a growth mindset in this area? What is it going to do? A growth mindset is one that says, you know what? Given enough time, I can learn anything. They approach the scene with a positive attitude, believing and knowing, you know what? I am capable. I can learn anything. Number two. One of the second characteristics of a winning student, I would say, is they are brave. They're able to take on some daunting tasks and just know one way or another, I'll figure it out. They are able to take risks. They expand their world. They don't come with this play safe, limited type of mindset. They're just brave, like bring it on. I'll figure it out. I can handle it, okay? However big the task is, I can break it down into chunkable sizes where I'll eventually finish it all together. So the second characteristics of a winning student is they are brave. The third one I'd love to say, a winning student is highly organized, okay? It's virtually impossible for a child to manage thoroughly 9 subjects, 9 different expectations, handling 9 different teachers, 9 bits of homework and work that you have to revise and dig in deeper and do research here. It's virtually impossible to handle that without collapsing, without feeling overwhelmed, unless somebody is highly organized. So those that know how to map out their timetable, organize their time between break time and lunch time and evening and prep time, and how to wake up early morning, not according to how the school or the class is waking up and how the class is organizing themselves. Because when the teacher is teaching chemistry, we're not understanding chemistry at the same level, at the same rate, at the same pace. No. So everybody that's going to win knows how to pace themselves up. They have to be highly organized. Then a good student is very consistent and persistent. They don't just do the right things once in a while when they feel like. They've made up their mind, come rain or high water, these are the habits I'll hold on. This is how I'll manage my time. This is how I'll relate with students. This is the time I'm waking up. This is how I'm asking questions. This is how I'm revising. They are consistent and persistent. When they get it right, they stay persistent. When they don't get what they expected, they stay consistent and persistent. That's a serious quality, because we get some students with pendulum performance. Today it's high, tomorrow it's low, because they are not determined to possess the characteristic of being consistent and persistent. And then a good student is able to deal with failure. It's not all the time that somebody will get what they ultimately admire, what they'll ultimately wish for. But once in a while, even when you don't quite get there, have you trained yourself to deal with failure? So a good student is able to deal with failure. They don't stay down beating themselves forever. Why did I fail? I was aiming to get this. No. You wake up, you dust yourself, and you start figuring out, what didn't I understand? What did I think I have? Yet I quite didn't have it the way I needed to have it together. Okay, so a good student teaches himself and has learned how to deal with failure, right? A good student sets goals. We have long-term goals, we have short-term goals, we have got big goals, we have small goals. The formula for achieving them is the same. SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound, okay? The huge goal of becoming that lawyer, that engineer, that pilot, that computer scientist, whatever it is your goal is, to become a great business person, whatever your goal is, are you able to break it down into understanding the little things you do from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, the goals per day, the goals per week that will line up and add up to your long-term goal, okay? So a good student is able to set goals. Then a good student will constantly and always connect learning to life. That's one of the best ways of retaining information at a deep level. Okay, you can not really retain that information if you've not personalized it, if you've not stopped to figure out, all right, how am I going to use this for life? What's the importance of this? How can I connect this to real life? Okay, that way the lesson goes to your heart. Okay, and it becomes very easy to remember during exam time because you have the habit of learning to connect learning to life. And then a good student has understood or has a grasp on how to handle their mental health. You know how to deal with anxiety. You know how to deal with depression when you're feeling low, when everything is not working out for you, when you have all these overwhelming thoughts of stress. A good student has figured out ways on how to deal with how to manage their mental health, okay? You know whether to wake up and just go to talk to a counselor, or take a walk around the field, drink water, think of something happy, jump around, sing a song. A good student knows how to handle their mental health. And then another very important factor is a good student will always make teachers their allies, okay? Don't assume you'll figure it out by yourself. There's a reason why you have your teachers there. They know more than you do. They've always prepared other people to excel before you showed up in that school. So it's not about what you think of the teacher. No. By the time they showed up in your school, they're carrying within them what you need for your next level. So a great student, this is a serious characteristic that is possessed by all winning student. They are able to make teachers their allies, okay? And then a good student values education. Unless you value education, unless you know this is important to you, there's no way you'll enjoy the learning process. It can seem an endless journey. It can seem so tedious if you don't learn to value education. This is the only fashionable thing in the world, education. So always remember those 10 characteristics, and I'm sure as you give yourself over to begin to develop them, you'll see a huge change. Oftentimes when I'm brought for students and I'm told, okay, Lillian, I need you to help my child pass and all that, the first thing I'm wanting to find out in my own ways is whether they have their character and their discipline together. Because when we still have all those things in disarray, somebody wants to learn when they want, however they feel like, they don't know how to obey the timetable, they don't know how to set goals, they don't want to make teachers their ally. It's really hard. So the first foundation I have to set in place is to ensure they understand the value of having your character in place. And then after that, oh man, the studies are just flawless. You find that somebody that had an E last time is coming up with an A. Somebody who had a D last time is coming up with a B next time. The change really happens because you've managed to get your character together. You have this commitment, you have this discipline, you have this focus, you have this tolerance. You are able to be taught and you are able to obey what it is that you're being taught without thinking that you need to figure out your own ways. So I hope this has been helpful. Share out, and I'm sure it will make a difference to the child that it manages to reach. So take care and God bless you. Life Coach Lillian. You want to reach out to me, my number is 0721-324-816 or 721-324-816. Send over your kids, and I'm also ready to visit those schools and turn around the final mean score to the next desired level or even surpass it, because we are able to understand the characteristics of a winning student. Goodbye.